And I just want to say welcome to the incredible Mia Fileman, who is in Darwin and has agreed to share with us all of her amazing knowledge around digital marketing and all that faffing around that we do, trying to do new stuff. She's going to say, you don't have to do it. She's got strategies that actually are sustainable where you don't have to keep changing things. But I will shut up now. Mia, over to you to introduce yourself. Girls, I would suggest in your view on the top right that you do speaker. And that way you'll get Mia, and just unmute yourself as well. But I've got Aparna now. Mia, are you there? Yes.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much for that introduction, Jules. It's such a pleasure to be here. I came along to one of these a few months ago and it was fabulous. So I know that I'm amongst friends. I'm going to dive in. We've got a small session today, so I want this to be really interactive. So I'm actually going to stop at a few points and get your questions before moving on, so that we've got a chance to really get into it. I don't want this to be a lecture. So let me just, can I have screen sharing, please, Jules?
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course you can. How do I do that? Hang on. Wait 1 second.
I also got very lucky with Larrakia country. That's pretty easy to spell and pronounce. And if you're in Yarraville, you are working on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Okay, good. That's what I thought. Great. I didn't forget the Kulin Nation bit though.
All right. So let's dive in. Hang on. Let's present my screen. So today, over the next hour and a half, we're going to talk about how to master sustainable marketing strategies. So just by way of a little bit of an intro, I'm a professional marketer with 2 decades of experience. I've worked for some of the world's biggest brands, including Vegemite, L'Oreal, Maybelline, and Bic, the pen company. Now I am a full-time marketing mentor and trainer. You cannot outsource your marketing to me. I am exclusively in the education space, and I'm a fellow small business owner. So I walk in the shoes of my customers every day, and I know how unrealistic and unsustainable a lot of the marketing advice is today. I'm also a mum to 2 kids, and I'm a defense partner. Very proud defense partner. And so my husband is away all the time. So I'm all about making sure that your marketing is sustainable. Now, amongst my audience, I am affectionately referred to as the campaign lady. Campaigns are my thing. I will accept campaign queen, but I will not accept campaign guru. And I want to show you why.
My first launch generated 6 figures and cost 6 figures.
Hey, what are you doing?
Strategies, retainers, and personalized support are for those who play small. I sell dreams. I went from 0 to hero, and you can too with my plug and play formula. I wrote all about it in my top-selling book. And I live by the mantra, don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle! There is no secret recipe for success. You deserve honesty, tailored advice, and someone who's invested in your business. Say no to crap marketing. Create marketing campaigns that are right for your business.
All right, so that is The Gurus We Deserve, my first launch campaign that absolutely propelled my brand and has now gone viral. The Gurus We Deserve is an example of an integrated marketing campaign, and we're going to talk about those today because they are the most proven way to build your brand. I'm sorry, I was wearing the same dress in the video. I just realized that and I was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
Now we know it's really you, don't worry.
I know, right? Also, you know that my family and I practice minimalism. So we are not about having too much stuff. So you will often see me wearing the same things. All right. So my brand is called Campaign Del Mar. And as I said, we are a marketing education platform for female founders and marketers. Okay, so what we're going to go into now is a little bit of the state of play for digital marketing in 2023 so that we can see where we are now. And then I'm going to share what I like to call a couple of truth bombs and some best practices when it comes to those truth bombs. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so the state of play when it comes specifically to social media is that in the most recent Instagram engagement report by HubSpot and Mention, they looked at the average reach of an Instagram post and they found that it is 1.42%. So if you have 1,000 followers on Instagram, people that you have worked really hard to follow you on Instagram, 1.4 of them are going to see your content organically, which is the most depressing stat I have seen all year. I don't know about you. For the first time ever, we have seen a declining number of Facebook users. This is unprecedented. Since the launch of Facebook, it has only increased. But Gen Z, which is the generation younger than me, I'm a millennial, I'm an older millennial, they were never on Facebook. And millennials, so my generation, are leaving Facebook in absolute droves because it is a absolute cesspit of hatred, racism, and misinformation. Twitter, or as it's now called X, is a dumpster fire. And if any of you are running campaigns on X right now, I seriously recommend that you pause those until they figure this out. Especially with the war in Israel and Palestine, there is so much misinformation on X currently, and I would just stay right away from that platform. If you are using it for your brand, if you are there just to get information, so am I. See you there. And I want you to really think about meta platforms, so Instagram and Facebook, as now being paid platforms. We are still in the mindset that these are organic platforms, that you can post on social media and you will get organic reach. Organic reach on Facebook and Instagram is dead. At 1.42%, that means that 98% of your content is not being seen. I call that pretty dead. Interestingly, Pinterest is the kindest placed on the internet. So unlike other platforms, political speech, weight loss, gambling, pro-bulimia, drugs, pharmaceuticals are all banned on Pinterest. And so this is a platform that is a very safe, inviting, and inclusive space on the internet. And then there's a lot of talk about TikTok. And I just want to allay your fears. If 62% of your audience are not under 29 years old, you do not need to be on TikTok right now. So if you are feeling the pressure to be on yet another social media platform, currently TikTok is just for Gen Z and marketers like me who need to be on these platforms because we talk about them, we educate about them. But if that's not you, and most of your audience are millennials and Gen Y, then you do not need to be on TikTok at this point. The one that I haven't added here is LinkedIn, which is my favorite social media platform. It is unbelievable. I just want to explain to you. So for the last 3 years of my business, I have posted nearly every single day to Instagram, and I have 4,000 followers. I have a very high conversion rate of those followers, which we're going to talk about. But after Instagram announced last year that Instagram was no longer a photo sharing platform, I decided to reprioritize and make LinkedIn my primary social media account. Within 12 months of doing that, I am now getting the same amount of leads from LinkedIn as I am from Instagram, even though I have been plugging away at Instagram for 3 years. So highly recommend. we get onto LinkedIn and we really focus on LinkedIn. And instead of creating content for Instagram and then sharing it to LinkedIn, we go the other way around. Okay, so that's go on.
Antonia said she's on YouTube as well. Do you know what are your thoughts on YouTube?
YouTube is great. The thing that I would say is that you have to make sure that your audience are on YouTube. So I work predominantly with female entrepreneurs and marketers, and they are not really playing big on YouTube. They love Instagram and they love LinkedIn. But if you have an audience of males, young men, teachers, children or parents of children looking for activities and educational resources, then YouTube is a fantastic audience. But it skews very male YouTube, which is interesting if you're trying to reach a male audience. Okay, so that's the reality of social media. And then let's have a look at what very credible social media experts advise. And I don't expect you to read this. It is purposefully overwhelming, because if you were to follow this advice of posting twice a day, engaging with the platform 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after posting, and making sure you've got the right hashtags and doing Instagram lives every week, if you were to follow this advice, this is all the marketing that you would have time for. So I would just like to know, show of hands, who has a full-time social media manager that they have in their business right now that can do this role? Anyone? No? No? Well, then this is bad advice for small businesses. Very, very bad advice, because it's not sustainable. And the too long didn't read of this entire masterclass is that in marketing, repetition and consistency are your friends. They are your only friends. They are your BFF friends. So if we can't do something consistently, then we just should not do it. And so this kind of advice is setting you up for failure. All right, so let's have a look at some other changes in the digital marketing environment. We are moving to a more private future. We are seeing the disappearance of third-party cookies. This was initiated by Apple, who have already implemented Apple's mail privacy protection, which allows users to stop being tracked in terms of their email data. This has made open rates for emails already unreliable. So they were already unreliable, they're further unreliable. We're seeing that Facebook and Google, which are the biggest players in terms of digital marketing and technology, are following suit with privacy. And this is really coming from a response from consumers saying we are fed up with our personal data being bought and sold. And a lot of this goes back to some, really big examples of manipulation of data, like the Cambridge Analytica scandal during the Trump election. So as a digital marketer, you might think, oh, this is bad news. But actually, as a geriatric marketer, this is great news for me. I am willing to give up some data in order to have a more private future. And because I have been around for a long time before we had things like third-party cookies and Big Brother type retargeting, I'm really excited about ideas being the future of marketing and not data. So all of this that I want you to take away from this sort of state of play is that social media over-reliance is perilous, absolutely perilous. 2, I want you to build your own data sources because the others are unreliable, and that not all advice is created equal. Okay, so I am a creative strategist. A lot of people do not know what that means. That's okay. But if marketing is art and science, then that's exactly what a creative strategist does. We use insights and data and listening and research, and we pair that with creativity in order to influence people's purchase decisions. And I truly believe that creativity now, with the disappearance of this third-party data, is the future of business advantage. Creative ideas win. And all I see all day, every day, wall to wall on every social media platform is the same GD thing, okay? And I'm just so fed up with the sameness. So hopefully today I'm going to give you some pointers to help you really stand out from that sea of sameness. All right, so let's go to my truth bombs. Always on marketing means you need to be always on. It's in the name, folks. So I want to introduce you to the difference between always on marketing and campaigns, because they are literally two sides of the same coin. All right, so always on marketing is your regular programming, your business as usual, your regular social media posts, your regular e-newsletter, monthly blog, fortnightly podcast episode, whatever it is that you are doing to keep the lights on in your business, that is always on marketing. It covers all your marketing priorities. When you release social media posts, you will do posts that are for brand awareness, for middle of funnel, for bottom of funnel, hopefully for bottom of funnel. So it's really about meeting all of your different priorities. It is the long game, okay? We don't post on social media and get sales the next day. If we were to post a blog, you are not going to see traction on that blog for months. Absolute months. By the time it gets Googled and indexed by Google and it starts to build traffic, it is definitely not instantaneous. And the reason why always on marketing exists is to maintain a consistent presence. So it is about making sure that you are constantly top of mind and in the consideration set. And as a result, it is purposefully designed to fit in. We use consistent brand colors, we use consistent brand font, we use consistent tone of voice. So it is about blending in, which is great. It plays a very essential role in your marketing mix, but it is not going to give you uplift in your business. It is not going to give you the runs on the board that us as entrepreneurs, we want. And if you want that, then the solution is campaigns. So campaigns are short bursts of focused activity. And I'm talking a number of weeks. When we run campaigns, we run them between 2 and 4 weeks. They are super laser focused on 1 or 2 specific objectives. I'm not trying to do all the things at once. I'm trying to focus on one thing at a time because we know that that's what works. And so then as a result, they deliver those fast results. Okay. Campaigns by design are configured to convert because they are specifically created with an objective in mind, and they are designed to stand out. Your campaigns will look very different, sound very different, feel very different to your regular programming. And that's why I wanted to show you the gurus we deserve. That is very different to the Amalfi Coast sipping Aperol Spritz vibes of the Campaign Del Mar brand, which is very professional, very, clean, very relaxing. And then all of a sudden you see this like big, bold guru figure. And that is intentional. Campaigns are designed to stand out. So a marketing campaign is an organized, strategic effort to promote a specific objective, such as raising awareness or selling a new product, but not both. They are tied together by an overarching campaign concept, and they aim to reach customers in a variety of ways. The best campaigns use a combination of paid, owned, and earned media channels. And I know I'm singing Jules's tune with the earned media right now. So that's why my first love will always be campaigns. Now, there are literally, not literally, there are many, many different types of campaigns. Campaigns are fit for purpose. And I just want to share a couple of examples with you. But in the marketing realm, you've got a brand awareness campaign, you've got a lead generation campaign, you've got a conversion campaign, you've got an influencer marketing campaign, so many different types of campaigns that you should choose the right one for your brand and what your number one priority is now. But you might also be familiar with the word campaign when it comes to elections or the environment or fundraising, and the same logic applies. So the analogy that I like to use is to think about a politician running for office. Does the candidate just do one thing to get elected? Or do they do all the things? Do they talk at town halls? Do they have a website? Do they have consistent brand messaging? Do they have a slogan? Do they use paid advertising? Do they, do PR? They do all those things, but it is all consistent under that tagline or slogan. And a marketing campaign is exactly the same. So as a result, I have built a lot of campaigns in my 21-year career. And some of them have been for products and some of them have been services. But my absolute passion now, as I am in a very fortunate position to be able to pick and choose the work that I do, I work with social impact organisations. I have worked with 3 Aboriginal peak health bodies in the Northern Territory on community education and engagement campaigns. I've worked on anti-gambling campaigns, on illicit drug campaigns, the Witchery White Shirt campaign, recruitment for women in our Northern Territory Fire Rescue Service. So campaigns can be used not just to move product and service, but to start a movement. So I want you to think about campaigns of being where marketing and advocacy can meet. And I know as female entrepreneurs that you are doing this, yes, because you want to put food on the table for your family, but there is a greater purpose. Female entrepreneurs, by statistics, are fueled by a purpose to see improvement in the world, and campaigns are your ticket to do that. Okay, so why is a smart mix of paid, earned, and owned platforms important? And so I really want to go through this with you. As small business owners, we don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars that we can spend on paid advertising. So we need to get scrappy. And so by using all of these buckets, it allows us to do more with less and punch above our weight. Now, I'm Greek background, so I love to quote Aristotle. And he says the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And that is 100% true when it comes to marketing campaigns. When you combine owned, earned, and paid, there is a multiplier effect. When I'm running campaigns, what I hear from my audience is, oh my God, Mia, you're everywhere. I listened to you on a podcast today with so-and-so, and then I opened up LinkedIn and you were there. And then I saw that you published an article in Smart Company. There's a real momentum around your brand. And I have to do a little chuckle because I'm like, oh, it's so cute. It's not by accident. It's by design. I have deliberately configured that for these 4 weeks, you are going to see me everywhere. And then after that, I'm going to relax and recharge. And, if I want to post on social media, I will, but I don't have to, because I will have met my objectives. Okay, so what are examples of owned media channels? They are your website, your email list, your blog, your lead magnets, your customer resource management tool. I count podcast subscribers as an owned channel because it's a brand controlled environment. You can say whatever you want on your own podcast. You can put links in your podcast. You've got freedom of format, which I think it constitutes a really good definition of owned media, and any white labeled apps. So if you've got a Mighty Networks platform or a Circle platform, then that is considered to be an owned platform. We use owned media because that is where the purchase decision is made. Customers are going to make the decision to work with you on an owned media channel. They are not going to do it on a borrowed, earned, or paid channel. The decision to work with you is going to be made on your website or on the email list. So we need to prioritize owned channels first. There is nothing that breaks my marketing heart more than seeing a cool Facebook ad, and then I click the link and I go to the landing page and it looks like a dog's breakfast, and I'm like, that is never going to convert anybody, and it took a lot of effort to get me here. So don't do that, please. And then we have earned media, which is how I have built my brand. So as a bootstrapped small business, like many of you, I did not have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on advertising. So I decided very early on that I was going to need PR to help me build my authority, credibility, and reach. Yay! So I'm proud to say that over the last 3 years, over 40 media outlets have published my articles, including Smart Company has written published 8 of my articles, Social Media Examiner, Mumbrella, Mamma Mia, Entrepreneur's Handbook, Better Marketing. I've been on like 20 podcasts. I am a media addict. I tell you, the adrenaline of like pitching and winning is like, it's a drug. So PR is a very common example of earned media, but it's not the only one. So user-generated content is one of my favorite little tools in the toolbox. Highly recommend you incorporate UGC into your marketing mix. Branded mentions, reviews, reposts, shares.
Mia,
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, what is user-generated content? What do you mean by that?
It's your audience creating content on your behalf. So people create like a video.
Posts in your Facebook group or something like that is user-generated content?
Yeah, so it's content that is not created by the brand, but advocates for the brand. So we see this a lot in the e-commerce space. So like an influencer doing a video where she promotes a particular product is paid marketing. But if she wasn't paid, if she just did it because she loves the brand, then that's considered UGC.
Right.
If you want a brilliant example of a brand who knows how to leverage user-generated content without paying $1, it is Mecca, the beauty brand. They have a community called Mecca Chit Chats. It's a Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group, but it is like cult-like devotion to Mecca. And they are constantly running challenges and giveaways in that group to get their audience to create content for them, to create user-generated content. So you see, people doing looks with makeup or trying out the skincare and posting that to social media and tagging Mecca. That's a perfect example of UGC. Yeah. And then of course we have our paid channels. So paid social media advertising, paid influencers, sponsorships, and out-of-home media. I love out-of-home media, especially since it became digital. And if you live in a regional area like me, it will astonish you at how affordable out-of-home media can be. So if you are like a grocery brand or a brand that works within a particular geographic location, so maybe your accounting firm works in a particular region, then out-of-home media could be really something worth considering. And then, of course, we have borrowed channels. And
sorry, again, Mia, sorry, can I interrupt? What's out-of-home media mean? Well, give us an example.
Oh, yeah. Bus wraps, bus shelters, path to purchase shopper lights in supermarkets.
So in terms of small business and out-of-home media, what do you mean by that? Is it us doing videos at home or?
No. Out-of-home media is like transit media. So wrapping a bus, buying bus shelters.
Oh, so it is transport related.
Yeah. So just as a comparison, in Darwin, if you want to put advertising on the bus, it's $350.
Right.
In Darwin. So a local yoga studio has done it, and I've seen that bus everywhere because it's Darwin. We don't have that many buses.
Yeah.
But bus shelters, schools love bus shelters, billboards, digital displays in shopping centers. So obviously you've got your big Westfields, but like if we look at an example like Melbourne and you take something like, Templestowe Central, and they've just got a Woolworths and a post office, they've got little placements that you can buy that media. Yeah.
Yep. Antonia just said it's 60 grand to do a bus in Sydney.
Yeah. No.
A little bit out of our reach, I would think.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. But then you can be clever and you can go hyper local and you can say, okay, I'm going to go by postcode. I'm going to just get I'm just going to get the Shire of Sydney and see what that costs and see if I can be really strategic with regional suburban, as opposed to, yeah, forget it, Sydney, Melbourne. No, there's no chance. All right, so let's have a look at another example. I love videos. So let's have a look at another example of an integrated marketing campaign that ticks all these boxes.
Camel toe. Noun. The cleavage between the toes of a large ungulate. Slang for that thing where the seam of your leggings gets a little too friendly. We're over camel toe and VPL. And swamp crotch. And bouncing out of your bra. And wow, everyone knows you're wearing a thong today because your leggings are fully see-through. Shorts so flimsy they ride up with every step. Weak waistbands that flip, slip and dip with every burpee, mountain climber or trikonasana. We're over polka dot, tie-dye, zebra leaf and galaxy print. Piles of seasonal hashtag must-haves and not a thing to wear. We've had it with live, laugh, love, you go girl, namaste, rise and grind, glib platitudes. Motivational quotes that only motivate you to roll your eyes. We want to run, jump, sweat and play with nothing in the way. We want to feel sucked in, not held back. We want sleek, sculpted and timeless. We want one set of kit that will last and last and last. We want engineered, road-tested, technically advanced innovation. We want no bullshit. We are LNDR.
Amazing, right? Sensational. So if there's an industry that's locked out to new entrants, it's probably going to be activewear, right? Like, you know, Nike, Adidas, Puma, Under Armour. So how did a brand with two female founders, one Australian, go and steal valuable market share from billion-dollar brands? And it was with this. We Are LNDR is their flagship brand campaign. It was released several years ago and it continues to build their brand because it is so powerful in terms of positioning. I actually had the founders of LNDR on my podcast. If you want to go and listen to that episode, it's sensational and you can really go behind the scenes of this. This was done on a small business budget. It looks expensive, but with a trained eye, you'll be able to see that there's some real shortcuts. So it's filmed in a studio with the blue screen. So they've saved on location costs. They actually reached out to local Pilates and yoga instructors in London and said, hey, are you willing to be in our campaign? And did not pay the talent, which saved a bunch of money. Instead of licensing music, they used this great drum beat sound. So saved easily $5,000 on music licensing. And they used a freelance female entrepreneur copywriter to write this. And this lives and dies by the copywriting. So it's a fantastic example, I think.
It is.
Okay.
We've got a woman in the group who runs Be Keen, Fit and Healthy, and she's got the most inclusive range. It's really well made activewear, and she does size 6 to size 38, which is just unheard of. So I'll have to tell her to go and watch this because she might get some ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. But it wasn't just one video. And that's the thing that campaigns are not just one video, especially in today's environment where we need constant content. It used to be the case that you would buy a 30-second ad and play it to death on television and be done with it. Now we need to show up on social media. Now we have website blogs we need to publish. And so this is a great example of an integrated marketing campaign, which are my favorite kind of campaigns. And you can see that they had the video, but then they also used, this is a perfect example of out-of-home media, Jules, tram stop.
Yeah.
Static photos and graphics for social media. So these are social media tiles. They turned this into paid social media advertising. And they did some of that out-of-home media as well. So a really great example of paid, earned, and owned channels. All right. Third truth bomb. I think we're up to 3. Without strategy, content is just stuff, and the world has enough stuff. So marketers like me, we love to talk to you about strategy. And it's so confusing, don't you think? Because you're just like, all right, hang on, let me get this right. I need a business strategy. I need a brand strategy. I need a marketing strategy. then I need a digital marketing strategy, then I need a social media strategy, then I need a PR strategy, then I need an advertising strategy, then I need to have a sponsorship, an event strategy. Like, how many strategies does a person need? And I'm going to completely buck the trend and tell you that you need one strategy. And the strategy that you need is called a value-based strategy. And it is the stupidly simplest thing in the world. And all I want you to do is, before you post anything, you write anything, you share anything, I just want you to ask this question: how can I deliver value? It's that simple, right? So from everything that you do, I want you to approach it from a position of value and be generous with your ideas, generous with your content, generous with your community, and it will absolutely come and reward you in spades. And then that way, you don't need 11 billion strategies. You just need one. How can I best serve my audience? Who are my audience and how can I best serve them? So that's the rule that I follow with strategy. And then I apply that to every channel. Okay, great. I know how I can best deliver value to my audience. How do I apply that in the context of PR? How do I apply that in the context of social media? How do I apply that in the context of my podcast? Yeah. All right. Start building your email list yesterday. All right. For 10 years in a row, email marketing has delivered the best return on investment in marketers. This is across every industry: B2B, B2C, D2C, product, service, e-commerce, you name it, email marketing delivers the best return on investment. So let's look at some numbers. Let's do some marketing maths for our accountant in the room. I'm sure sometimes she can feel left out. First of all, let's quantify this. So for $1 you spend on email marketing, you can expect an average of $42 return on investment. For $1 that you spend on social media, you can expect a return on investment of $2.40. That is a massive, massive difference in terms of return on investment. But let's just have a look at a simple equation. So if you've got 2,000 email subscribers and you've got 2,000 Instagram fans, the average open rate for professional services brands, of which, service-based brands, of which most of you are, is 20%. That's a pretty average open rate. We mentioned earlier that the average reach of a post on Instagram is 2.4%. So if you have 2,000 email subscribers, based on a 20% open rate, 435 people will open your email and only 40 Instagram fans will see your message. So there's just not enough opportunity for people to see your shit. Like, it's just not enough. That's the problem. And if they can't see it, they can't take action. So the best way to use social media is to drive people to an own channel, right? Is to use social media like they are using us, because you best believe they are absolutely using us. So use your social media accounts to get people onto an own channel, being your email list. Okay. So if you are sort of starting out on your email marketing journey, or you've been winging it for several years and you're ready to get a little bit serious, I've got some top tips for jump starting your email marketing. So strategy first, obviously, before we do anything. Who is my email marketing content for? What is my email marketing content going to be? How often am I going to send emails? How am I going to send emails? Really nut out your email marketing strategy so that it's very, very clear for you, based on that overarching strategy of how can I deliver value to my audience. The best email service provider, so the email client, MailChimp, MailerLite, ActiveCampaign, the best one for you is the one that talks to the rest of your marketing stack. What I mean by that is your email service provider needs to integrate with your website and your CRM. So it's not helpful to anybody for me to say, oh, I love ActiveCampaign, that's nice, if that doesn't play with your website well. If those two don't talk to each other well, they can't integrate, it's absolutely useless to you. So what I want you to do is, whatever your website is on, I want you to go to squarespace.com or shopify.com. And I want you to scroll right down to the bottom. And in the footer, there's going to be a link there that's called integrations. And I want you to click that link, and I want you to see what integrates well with your website. So start with your website, and you'll see Squarespace integrates well with MailChimp or with ActiveCampaign. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not with Squarespace. And then that is your shortlist. Okay. Don't say to me, Mia, I want to use Flowdesk because they have pretty emails, if it's never going to configure with your website without a lot of Scotch tape and crazy glue. Okay. There are literally businesses being held together in Australia with like crazy glue. So don't do that. Okay. So really think about the integration. Work harder, not smarter with email sequences. So these are a series of emails that are created in advance and automated on a schedule. I mean, these are the best things ever. You do not need to be a good writer or a copywriter to be good at email marketing. Despite common belief, email marketing is not at all about the writing. Not at all. Okay. It's not. It just isn't. So, no one has time to read novellas and whimsy, compelling narratives. Bite-sized content, curated content, helpful content, valuable content does not need to be copywritten. It just needs to be shared. You do not need expensive funnel software. You do not need funnel software. You just need a website with an email service provider. So do not buy into any guru bullshit. Sorry, am I allowed to swear, Jules?
Sorry?
Am I allowed to swear?
Yes, of course you are. I say fuck all the time. So
what is funnel software? Anyone heard of like
Funnelytics?
Funnel Gorgeous, ClickFunnels, Russell Branson, any of those fun? Yeah, it's very, very expensive software that essentially does what you can do for free using your website, a web form, and an email service provider. And I'm going to show you this exactly so that you can avoid that software. ClickFunnel. Thank you, Aparna. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Last email jumpstart, please upskill before you outsource. You know, honestly, it makes me so cross when brands reach out to a VA who is not a professional marketer getting paid $60 an hour and say, hey, can you write my email sequences? And she's like, in theory, I can. What do you want me to write? I don't know. Just go away and, you know, make money in my sleep. And like, you are the visionary in your brand. You need to hold on to the reins. You need to know what you want so that you can accurately brief someone to deliver that. You don't outsource your vision for the brand. You outsource the tasks that help you achieve that vision. So if you have no idea where to start in terms of what you should be writing, what to include, how often to do it, you need to first know enough to be dangerous before engaging someone to do the heavy lifting for you, which is why I'm a marketing trainer and educator, because I just got so fed up with people coming to me in my agency saying, oh, I just want it done for me, but I don't actually know what it is. And I don't know why it takes so long and why you charge so much, but I just want it done for me. I'm like, well, education is exactly what you need. So how do we create it? This is directly for you, Anne, because you asked for this in the Facebook group. Are you still here? Hi. You asked for this in the Facebook group. So I thought I would add in this slide just for you. So we're going to call this the Anne slide. So one of the most essential digital marketing things that you will ever do is to create and trigger an email sequence, right? You should absolutely do this. I call this, we can give this a fun name, right? We're going to call this a honey drip because it gives you honey. So I want you to remember this. This is the honey drip. All right. It starts with someone submitting a form on your website. So all we need is a page on your website. Any old page will do. Doesn't have to be a fancy Kartra, lead funnels, anything like that. Just a nice ordinary page, and we are going to put a web form on it. Every single website builder, Squarespace, Shopify, Kajabi, have the ability for you to create a form. So we need a web form. When that form is submitted, we need an automation that triggers an email sequence. And so to do that, we need your website to talk to your email service provider, which is why I said it's so important that they integrate. So it's a very simple automation. It goes something like this. When form is submitted, create new contact in MailerLite. Done. And then you've taken them from the website, they're in MailerLite or they're in ActiveCampaign, and then you can schedule out your email sequences in your email service provider. So even though I said I don't have favorite email service providers, I kind of do, only after you've gone and had a look at what integrates best. If you are an e-commerce business, Klaviyo is by far, hands down, the best. If you are a professional services business, MailerLite and ActiveCampaign and Campaign Monitor are really, really good options. Or if you're a course creator like me, I use Kajabi as an all-in-one integrated solution. But as I said, make sure you figure out which one integrates the best for you first. So are we all clear about how the honey drip works? The mechanism of the honey drip. Amazing. So good. Once you create your first honey drip, you just clone your honey drip. Okay, you just clone the page, clone the form, clone the sequence, and just rock it and roll it again. I have like 20 honey drips for different funnels for my business, but it starts with one. So once you figure out that tech once and, it's going to be like a light bulb moment. You're like, oh, this is so good. Now I can create a form which allows me to send a free ebook or a free webinar or a free masterclass. And then off the back of that form, I can trigger an email sequence that's all 100% automated. I don't touch it, but I do check it to make sure that it's still right. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know what number truth bomb we're at, but next truth bomb: stop interrupting what people are interested in and be what people are interested in. So I probably should have started with this, but it just sort of felt right at this point of the presentation. But I subscribe to the inbound approach to marketing. Now, I did not create this. I get zero credit for this. It is a philosophy created by HubSpot, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with HubSpot. They came up with the inbound marketing approach. And it is definitely the one that I use, and it is definitely the one that I teach. And the inbound approach to marketing is about pulling your customers towards you rather than pushing out communications to them. And the way that we do this is by creating a path through the woods and moving away all the obstacles and all the barriers and pulling our customers towards us and allowing them to use that path if they choose to. And at any point they can jump off, but we bring them towards us. So to do this practically, okay, that's nice, Mia. How do I do that? I use the law of attraction when it comes to all of my content. So I am constantly sharing my beliefs, my opinions, my philosophy, who I am, who I'm not, what I think about things throughout my content so that I can attract people who align with me, who are like, you know what, there's a million freaking marketers and I don't know which one to use, but she sounds like a pretty cool chick. We agree on most things. I might actually, get some results with this person. So that's how it works, right? Is about attracting the right people to you and letting them find you as opposed to you, spamming them on LinkedIn. So this is about marketing that's very purpose-driven, and it is about making sure that we're sharing those strong opinions throughout our content so that those right people can find us. And then again, repetition and consistency. So don't shy away from who you are and who you believe. It's too hard for people to pick these days. There's a million coaches, there's a million marketers, there's a million publicists. Make it easy for them to say, I want her, I like her, she speaks my language. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, next truth bomb: video killed the radio star. So if content is king, then video is the master of the universe. And I want to show you yet another video because fun times. Let's go.
Eat fat to burn fat, butter and coffee. The carrots are too high in carbs. No fruit or pasta, you can have rice though, as long as it's cauliflower. Everyone said it was easy, living a life without carbs. Everyone said it was easy. No one ever said my arteries would get hard. I'm going back to the car.
I'm dead. I'm dead. This could be a generational thing. I did send this to my dad, and he's like, I don't think this is as funny as you think it is. And I'm like, well, we're just going to have to agree to disagree. Sorry, Dad. Jonathan Steedman is a video marketing legend. Highly recommend you go and stalk him on Instagram and get inspired by him. We also recorded an episode on my podcast about video marketing. Look, I'll be honest, I railed against this as well. I'm a writer, so I did not like having to make videos. It wasn't naturally what I wanted to do, but being in digital marketing means that you are constantly moving and chasing target, and that if you don't adapt, you will die. So I've had to just get on board or get left behind. The thing that I will say is that I highly encourage you to do it creatively. I will not dance. I will not point. I will not lip sync. I will not use a trend. I will not use a template. I will let my freak flag fly and do a Jonathan Steedman and do something like this, or the Gurus video. To be honest, my most successful videos are where I literally point the camera to my face and I have a little Mia rant. I did one recently about awards, and these are vanity awards that people are winning, and these paid for awards where you have to pay to nominate and then you have to pay to win, and all of this. And that has gone absolutely viral, and it took me 2 minutes. I edited it within Instagram. I didn't do it. I didn't put any tiles on it. I didn't make it look pretty. I just literally published it. And so please do video your way. If you've got a social media manager saying, oh, we can jump on this trend, I want you to deeply reconsider that, because original ideas win. Success porn is dead is my final truth bomb. Okay, I feel very passionate about this, as you probably have picked up with my Gurus We Deserve video. So I just want to enlighten you a little bit about these 7-figure mega phoners which have absolutely overrun our industry. So the first thing is that they like to glorify the entrepreneurship journey and make it sound so much easier and easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, that it is absolutely not. And they do this deliberately to mindset manipulate you into feeling that you're just doing it wrong. And we all freaking know how hard it is. So hard. Hardest thing ever after pushing babies out of me was this. It's so hard. So this glorification of entrepreneurship is completely designed to make you feel like you are missing out on some secret recipe that obviously does not exist. So this entire world is about mindset manipulation and weaponized psychology. Okay. And a lot of this is underpinned with wealth signaling. And that is the most basic of basic bitch marketing, right? I'm wealthy, and if you work with me, you'll be wealthy too. Makes absolutely no logical sense because, like, so many factors influence a person's wealth, like their background, their cultural heritage, where they were born, their level of education, level of family support, so many things. But yet we believe this. We're like, yeah, no, that stacks up. Yep, sure. Sure. No worries. I don't know why, but we do. We are like, yeah, no, sure. Well, absolutely. And then we've got the really, really crap marketing that I alluded to in my videos, which is aggressive funnels, invented authority, false scarcity, predatory language, and inflated value. And the thing that's really difficult about this is that they will sell you on the glory, but then when you actually join their programs or their courses or their coaching 20K masterminds, you don't realize that this is what it takes. This is what they want you to do. And you're like, ah, shit, I don't want to send an email a day. I don't want to be shaming people into buying. I don't want to have countdown timers that never expire. I don't want to feel like I'm pressuring people to buy, because that doesn't sit right with me. But they don't tell you that that's what it takes. That's exactly what it takes. It also takes tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on social media paid advertising. So when I was doing the Gurus We Deserve, I was doing research for this, and I made myself sick, like literally unwell, from just the amount of Facebook ads that I was served, because the algorithm will give you more of what you see. And because I was clicking and looking at one of these ads, I suddenly get all of these ads. And my whole life for that period was really freaking dark, I have to tell you. Okay. So cookie cutter courses and digital products with absolutely no tailored support or advice. It is literally, they are mining you for your money, and that is it. They are not invested in your success. They are just purely invested in building these empires so that they can then wealth signal and so. Okay, so to summarize, how are we going to prioritize our very valuable marketing time and budget in the future? So first things first, strategy before tactics. I'm just going to mute Tash.
Yeah, I was just going to go, how can we...
There we go. She's muted. All good. So strategy before tactics. So before you post anything, I want you to really think about how this is going to deliver value. What is the purpose of this? What am I hoping that this post is going to achieve? Why am I posting this on Instagram today? What specific marketing objective is this going to meet? Is this to get people onto my email list? Is this to get people to click onto my website? Is this to be saved for later? Is this to be, what exactly? Every single post, every single piece of content should be purposeful. Please focus on the point of purchase and revenue generating activities first. This means optimizing your landing and sales pages, your website, and your email marketing. Please start there before you do any sort of top of funnel, brand building, brand awareness, any of that. I want you to be honest with yourself. Go to your website, go to your sales page and say, yeah, this is shit hot. This is great. This is really putting my best foot forward in terms of my brand. And then we're going to work backwards from the point of purchase. So if the point of purchase is your website, then we work backwards from there. Please focus on evergreen marketing activities before short bursts. Even though I'm a campaign marketer through and through, you do need to have those evergreen marketing foundations first. That means those that honey drip. We need the honey drip for your campaign. So we need the ability to send email sequences. We need strategic social media. We need regular emails. We need that first before we can run campaigns. Please don't over-rely or over-invest in one area. Write down your marketing mix and put them in those buckets that I provided for you. So go back to this slide very early on here. And I want you to make a list of what sits in your owned and what sits in your earned and what sits in your paid and what sits in your borrowed. And if 90% of it sits in borrowed, then just remember, we don't build castles on borrowed land. Okay. And then build owned channels, which I feel like I have reiterated. Okay, so just to put on your radar, I would love for you to share this with your communities, is that I have a couple of group programs, very high touch, very high levels of support, none of this cookie cutter, fly by the seat of your pants, very hands-on access to me. The first one is Nail Your Email Marketing Strategy. It is our best-selling program. It's $595. The doors opened yesterday. wink, wink. And they close on October 27. We've had nearly 200 marketers and female founders do it, and it is specifically focused on email marketing. We cover funnels, we cover landing pages, how to build your email list, segmentation versus personalization, CRM, tagging, all the things that you would expect in a comprehensive email marketing program. The other one I want to put on your radar, probably not for you because you are all established business owners, but if you have any friends that are just embarking on their business journey, we don't work with a lot of those people either, but I got really fed up with the rubbish that early stage businesses were being served. So I did something about it, and I went and recorded a program called Setting the Stage for Campaigns, which is a little mini program. It's 4 weeks. It's currently 50% off for Black Friday, and it is ideal for setting those evergreen foundations. So strategic socials, audience insights, automated email funnels, and high-performing landing pages. And you get a one-on-one strategy call with my full-time digital strategist, Emily, as part of that program. So that's invaluable. Please go and have a listen to the Got Marketing podcast. I'm very fortunate to have a top 40 marketing podcast in Australia. And as you heard throughout the presentation, I've got some really great guests. So go and have a little listen. And next steps for you. So my ask is I would love for you to come and hang out with me on email. The easiest way to do that is to just type in campaigndelmar.com/roundup and join the weekly roundup. I spend about 3 hours every single week pulling together the best dang roundup of marketing news specifically for female founders. And that goes out at 10 a.m. every Thursday morning. There's about 4,500 people that read that religiously every week. Then I want you to pick one owned channel and optimize it before moving on. So I want you, today to be like, okay, I'm going to go and have a look at that sales page for my new offering and really see whether it is putting my best foot forward. And then get together with your fellow She's the Boss members and brainstorm some campaign ideas for next year. So I'm super friendly. I welcome your emails. I welcome your DMs. I love chatting with people. I'm not a, please submit the contact form on my website kind of person. So please definitely reach out to me. But now that we're through that, I'm just happy to take all of your questions.
Great. Well, that was just fantastic. Thank you. Hang on. I'm going to do the gallery view now so I can see everyone. What did everyone think? Have you all got loads of questions? Yeah, great. Great. It was really good, Mia. So thank you so much for that. That was wonderful. So now do we have questions in the chat, or do you want to just put up your hand if you've got one? I'll just quickly run through the chat and check that we've got nothing in there.
Can I take a photo?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can.
Everyone's
one.
That ring light. Not good. Hang on. Oh. There we go. Cool. Questions?
Okay, so Antonia said if the social media platforms aren't great, where should you pay for attention? If you've got a small budget, where would you suggest that people do it? And Antonia, you might want to just say what it is that you do so that she knows.
Okay, so I'm going to go to market very shortly with a powerful pitch text masterclass, which is based on an evergreen model of posting videos to YouTube with an email funnel from my owned email list. But based on all the strategies out there, you're supposed to do in time some social media marketing and paid advertising. But if they're not performing well, why would you?
Yeah, so I wouldn't if they're not performing well. I urge you to think outside the square in terms of paid advertising. So traditionally, the most cost-effective has been Facebook and Instagram paid advertising. But I currently have a student doing Campaign Classroom, which is my signature program, and she is seeing the most incredible results with Spotify advertising. So yeah, she recorded a Spotify ad at home with an external microphone like this one, and she's had 79 opt-ins to her lead magnet from a tiny budget on Spotify.
Really?
So yeah, so also I don't know about you guys, but I don't outsource a lot in my business, but the number one thing I outsource is Facebook ads, because Facebook Ads Manager does not spark joy, whereas I'm happy to run my own Spotify ad campaigns. It's super intuitive to use the Spotify Ad Studio platform. So you've got Spotify. You've also got Pinterest paid ads, which could be, they're very expensive, but it just depends on your audience. So it's always worth doing a bit of experimentation. LinkedIn ads are also really expensive, unfortunately. I did do a bit of an experiment on LinkedIn, and very, very pricey for what you get. So for me, I'm still seeing a pretty good return on investment with Meta ads. But in the full transparency, my next thing, the thing that I want to do is I want to sponsor podcasts. So I want to go to other people's podcasts and I want to say, I want an ad in your podcast, because my audience love podcasts. So that's my next thing that I'm going to try.
Ooh, look forward to hearing how that goes for you.
All right.
Cool. Now, has anyone else got a question? Louise has just said, because she came a little bit later, do you recommend paid ads with campaigns? And is LinkedIn ads worth it? Is that linked ads or LinkedIn ads, Louise? Has she answered that question?
Oh, already answered. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Just with paid advertising, even though I say that you should have a smart mix of paid, earned and owned channels, I don't recommend starting any paid advertising until you have some organic traction. So otherwise you're just throwing good money after bad. So like if you're a fairly new business and you're going to market with a new product, I don't recommend you start with paid advertising. I want to see how the audience responds organically. It's not going to be great because organic reach is practically dead, but I want to at least see some sort of validation of your offering before you go and throw money on paid advertising. So leverage like collaborations, for example, or earned media before you, like if you in an interview with highly successful entrepreneurs and they say, what were the biggest mistakes that you made in the beginning? Every single one of them says, I wasted too much money on paid ads. Yeah. Every single one. Antonia, did you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick one. The power of email marketing keeps coming up. It's been coming up for years. And I've kind of just about to vet my email list and get the chaff away from the oats sort of thing. And it's going to be interesting to do that campaign, because I'm going to send out an email and say, are you interested in what I'm about to do and talk about? And broach the subject of getting rid of some of my old clients that are just hanging about. What's your opinion about that? Do you just lapse them?
No, so I want you to do it a bit more strategically. But okay, so first thing, absolutely essential to clean your list. So it serves you, it actually harms you to have people on your list who are not consistently opening it. So the way that it works is that deliverability is the most important thing when it comes to email marketing. Is the email getting to the inbox, or is it being caught in a spam filter or going into the dreaded Google promotions tab, which was designed to just torture digital marketers? So like Google has now created this whole other tab, which is basically for business, and no one checks it. So like if you subscribed to emails from Cotton On and you don't see them, it's because they're sitting in that promotions tab. So it's great for the user, terrible for the brand. So you don't want to be in the Google promotions tab. Trust me, you don't. So the way that deliverability works, though, is it looks at the percentage of people who open your emails. If you have a high percentage of emails that are not being opened, then that is going to affect your deliverability. So it is in your best interest to take those people off the list. But I don't want you to just completely just wipe them. I want you to invite them, give them an opportunity to stay on board if they would like, and be really creative about that. So in our email marketing program, I shouldn't say this because it's part of my gated content, but I'm going to include it anyway, because why not? We have used a notebook theme, the movie, The Notebook with Rachel McAdams. And we've like, we've used GIFs from like the movie to be like, no, I want to stay, no, I want to go, to make it really creative about whether they want to stay on the list or go. So like really have fun with your marketing. I don't know when marketing stopped being fun. It should always be fun. Yeah. Oh, do you have the same dress? So
Yeah,
cool.
Elizabeth, she does.
Amazing.
What did you just say, Nikki? What? I didn't quite grab that. That was, I've received emails recently noting I've not opened their emails. Oh, so you're getting those clean up
So
ones.
I'm getting those sort of, please confirm if you wish to stay on this list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I thought that was actually really good because it sort of makes me sort of remember who they are again.
We have this lovely thing in She's the Boss where I've discovered that 200 people have stuck in a spam filter, and Kartra doesn't quite know why. We're unusual. And so my course that I'm starting on Monday, I've got 7 names and 2 of them are blocked. So I can't send an email out to everyone. Very annoying. But anyway, there are ways of fixing that. So if you're one of those people, you're going to get an opt-in form.
That's what I would unsubscribe them, Jules, and then I would ask them to resubscribe through a simple form, just like a 10 tips for smarter marketing.
No, it's got to be a Kartra form, otherwise Kartra doesn't see that they actively want to be in the database. It's really weird. But anyway, Kartra's great because it does have all the funnels and the emails and everything all in one place. But that's very annoying part of it. Oh, by the way, and I've got a great saying. You're saying about tactics, Mia. I was at a conference the other day, and there was a guy there who was a video expert, and his saying is, strategy before tactics is a slow route to victory. Tactics before strategy is a lot of noise before defeat.
Oh, he can't take credit for that, Jules. That's Sun Tzu, The Art of War.
Yeah. He wasn't taking credit for it, but I'd never heard it before, so I'm just telling you. I thought that was really good. You know it, obviously.
Yeah. That boils my berries when people are like, oh yeah, I just.
No, he didn't. And he quoted Aristotle about the journey funnels and all that kind of thing.
I love that. That's one of my favorites. Tactics before strategy is the noise before defeat is just my absolute favorite. It's a lot of noise, but it's definitely not going to get there. Linda, did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Well, actually, I'm wondering if I'm just clarifying this all together because we know we're going to get this video, but because I have a marketing background too, but so long ago that I've just learned so much today. So thanks, Mia.
Oh, my pleasure.
Wonderful. Because I've got 2 businesses going, my PT business and then the one I really want to grow, which is my health and wellness business. So you were sort of saying there was that owned. So this is what I do every week. I've got like the date and I make sure that I tick off that I send an update email, a Facebook, an Insta, a Google, a website blog, and my wages, if I can pay myself. And I've done that again for my new business and I've added things more into that because, I've got this, I feel like it's very convoluted because I've got Facebook Linda LeGras page, and then I've got a group because I did a series last year where I got 200 people joining me in my Facebook group and over 1,300 onto an email list. And so I feel like I've got all these things, and someone said I should also just keep going doing something in my normal Facebook group. So I'm ticking off all these things as well as a live, but I'm very bad at the live and I'll have to get back onto the video. I'm just very uncomfortable doing those lives. But that's really still important, isn't it? To still do those or the basic things to keep the business ticking over. And then you're saying, then we need to get into that earned part. So that's really getting into getting yourself out there and getting mentioned by other people. And then going into paid. Has that sort of summarized it? Have I got too many things going?
It does sound like it. Yeah. So what I want you to do first is I want you to go through that list and first put them into the buckets. Are they all, is there a combination of owned and borrowed there, or is it, there sounded like there was a lot of borrowed channels. There was a lot of Facebook groups and also a Facebook group is not an owned channel.
Yeah,
you don't
right.
have a Facebook group. You have a bit more brand control, but not really. You can't organize the content in there the way that you like. You can't. Yeah. So go through that and see whether you're over indexed on a particular area. Then I want you to go and have a look at your data and see, are these things actually delivering a return on your marketing effort?
Like, I think the Facebook and the Instagram, no. My email does, because you made me go and have a look, because I'm getting now, I don't know if this is good. I hope I'm not bombarding people here, but on my Linda LeGras, I get about a 50% open. Is that?
Yes. The average is 20%.
Average is 20.
Okay, so whatever I'm doing, that's probably the big channel to go through.
Yeah. However, like, as I said, open rates are not the most reliable now due to Apple Mail privacy protection. I would love for you to focus on your click-through rate. So what is that?
Okay, that's really low. That's like 1%.
Okay, so next step for you is optimize your emails for clicks so that we've got a more reliable source. But I want you to, like, is an Instagram live driving, like, is it working for you? Is it bringing you, like,
I'm not really doing it, to be honest. I just do, like, all I do on Instagram and Facebook is really just a post.
So I would look at what you're doing, make sure it's actually, you know, delivering a return on marketing effort. And you sound like, Linda, the perfect person that, since you've got a lot of these evergreen marketing foundations in place and that's happening pretty regularly, you're in a good, consistent rhythm for that, then I think the next thing for you is to start planning a campaign, proper campaign, so that we can use those assets that you've built, the email list, the Facebook group, we can leverage those and use that to create an integrated campaign. So we can do that big focused effort. So I think it's time to get your creative hat on and be like, okay, what's my campaign going to be about? What's my theme for my campaign? And if you would like,
I don't know what it is, but
yeah, if you'd like some help to do that, then that's what
she does.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah, I think that you're at that space now where you've got the always on stuff tickety boo, and now it's time to challenge yourself to go the next level. Listen, every single professional marketer and every single major brand you've ever heard about runs campaigns, but for reasons that astonish me, small business owners don't even know what they are. And it's like, that's the mean trick that I think that everyone's missing. It's like, it's not these funnels and these secret formulas. It's what's taught at the best business schools in the world, which is integrated marketing campaigns. So I definitely feel very passionate about that. Obviously, my business is called Campaign.
Yeah, fantastic. You're going to have to, you're in Darwin, aren't you? We're doing a party at Cafe Del Mar.
Cool.
So you should be coming. Okay, Elizabeth, Louise, I'll get to you in 1 second. Elizabeth has a sales page question. She's rebranding, got a new website about to launch, and she would just love your advice. So, Elizabeth?
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me? That's what I'm under.
We can.
Oh, sorry, I'm about to choke for some reason. I'm hoping that I've got a live website at the end of the week. That's my fingers crossed. And I've done some rebranding. My business is a mix of so basically my business is resilience, relationships, and conflict skills, and then whether that's in your personal life, in your family, with the arguments you have in your head, or in a workplace environment. I think I've nailed the sales around the family, personal life, but I really want to think about the sales page for coaching and consulting, training around workplaces. And so I'm just trying to think of how best to present that. I've been writing down here value questions, and I just want to think about how I can. I guess what I first want to do is get that flow through of the organic marketing happening. Be talking about the daily marketing with emails and whatnot, but I want to set a campaign up for next year. So I want just any general ideas. It's a big question, I know.
So no, I think it's a valid question. So just the way that my brain works, I always like to think about the landing page, but for me, it all comes from the landing page. I don't create social media tiles until I've nutted out the destination page, the page in which I'm asking them to buy. So what I would recommend for you is to open a Google Doc and start like making notes about what would it be on a hypothetical sales page. Who is it for? Who is it by? What problem does it solve? And start mapping out content that is specific to that offer. So I would never put coaching for personal life and coaching for professional life on the same landing page. Those should be split out. So
we've done that. I've done that. So certainly what I've done is sorry, the question is I've got one landing page which takes me in 3 directions: personal, business, and training.
And they've each got their own landing pages.
And so
And they've got their own.
you've got the landing page done. Is that right? It's done for the professional? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So is
So I just I can review it with your information and maybe, give it a bit more pizzazz. So I just want to know what the key elements should be. Obviously, it's the lead magnet that takes people down that journey, isn't it? That I need to really hone.
yeah, I highly recommend for each offering over $500 that there's a lead magnet that allows people to experience something for free, puts them into a sales funnel for that. So you need all those building blocks: the landing page, the form, the lead magnet, and then the email sequence off the back of that.
And if you're selling something around that $500 mark, what is the value you're looking at in your free offering? What are you looking with
like
that?
97. When you say free, you mean how much do you charge for the giveaway thing? Is that what you mean? Like a $27?
Obviously, this is the free download. It's a quick question, I guess. But, you have the giveaway. I've been trying to give away too much of my IP, so I've got an ebook that I need to cut back and take away and give a summary to, and then maybe explain it and make it a sales thing. But so what do I?
Elizabeth, maybe you can go and have a chat with Mia, because we've got 2 other people and it's past.
Yeah.
So is that all right? Can you go to Campaign Del Mar and see?
Absolutely.
Mia, can she make a time to talk with you on the website? Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick question from Cherie, who's the artist, who says, should I be getting rid of Facebook and Insta and focus instead on Pinterest and LinkedIn? So for First Nations art.
I think what you should do is pick the one that your primary channel and stick with it for now, but then experiment with Pinterest and see how it goes, and then phase one out. So when I started to focus on LinkedIn, I still kept my Instagram, but I've completely let Pinterest and Facebook go for me. So just don't just jump, phase out, phase in and out.
Cherie, just so that you know, because we haven't got very long, but Naomi Lambert is brilliant at Pinterest. She manages to get tens of thousands of people from each post. So you probably should explore it, because it's where people go for home decorating ideas and things like that as well.
Well, I've got an account I've had for years, but I just haven't used it.
Yeah, have a chat with Naomi. She's not free at the moment, but have a little chat with her. Sorry, Louise.
Oh, sorry.
Question. We've got 1 more minute.
Okay. Love all the reminders from today. So I am a branding strategist and photographer. I'm very different to most photographers, but I have to really do a lot of brand awareness around how I position myself differently. A lot of my clients are they sit and watch me and my work for up to a couple of years, even for some people, before they get the guts to do it. So what would you suggest? Because campaigns, I do try campaigns, but because people have got this long lead up time, it's hard to do something quick and fast like that. I know I do need more in terms of lead generation things on my website. My website, I've spent a lot of time building it and trying to explain the difference. I guess I'm just wondering, any creative ideas you've got off the top of your head that might help with getting people to convert faster, I guess.
So that's exactly why I think campaigns are great. My signature program, Campaign Classroom, is $3,200. So people can kick around that funnel for years before deciding to take action. What I recommend for you is you're going to need a longer campaign. So when we run the campaign for Campaign Classroom, it's usually between 4 to 6 weeks. And then what we're doing is we're obviously trying to drive enrollments during that intake, but we're also planting the seed for the next intake as well. So campaigns are even better for that, because it takes 30 touch points before someone is able to take action with a brand. And so campaigns allow you to get those 30 touch points. So I actually think it makes the most sense for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense for everyone, but I mean, obviously I'm a fan.
Well, and you're absolutely brilliant. And I just want to say a huge thank you. You really have got everybody thinking, sparking all sorts of ideas today. If anyone wants to take the chat, go and click on the 3 buttons down at the very, very bottom on the right, and you can save chat. And other than that, Campaign Del Mar, what's the website? campaigndelmar.com, I think. Yep, .com. So, and you'll find Mia in the group and also all over LinkedIn, which we love.
Good. Thanks so much for having me. It was so nice to meet you, and please do reach out if we didn't quite answer your question. I'm happy to help.